LeBron James, a great player, a historic player that brought his hometown Cleveland a championship. However, what if this was all tainted, all part of a master plan by the NBA to bring LeBron and Cleveland a championship that it had been seeking? In order to truly get my entire point across, we must venture back to the 2010 offseason, where LeBron joined the Miami Heat. Since he was one of the biggest stars in the latter half of the 2000s, the NBA would have loved to get LeBron a championship, because the NBA is all about story. The story of LeBron winning a championship was great when it happened in 2016, and LeBron and the league knew that it would be just that. Anyways, getting back to the 2010 offseason, the Cleveland Cavaliers were utterly failing LeBron James. LeBron, being the level-headed guy that he is, realized this, left Cleveland out to dry, and signed with a far better team in Miami. Cleveland would go on to have a terrible season without its star, receiving the number 4 pick in the draft. However, Cleveland also received the number 1 pick in a trade that sent Mo Williams to the Clippers in exchange for Baron Davis and the Clippers' 2011 first-round pick. This is the point in time where things start to get a little bit fishy. The Clippers finished at a mediocre 32-50 record, giving them the number 8 odds to land the top selection. However, they did, and with the pick going to the Cavs, Cleveland selected Kyrie Irving, giving them a franchise guy that would go on to hit a go-ahead shot in their 2016 NBA Finals victory. Moving on to 2012, the NBA actually did not give the Cavs a favor that year, and they picked at number 4, selecting Dion Waiters. They also tried to give them a favor in 2013, but the Cavs took the biggest bust of the century in Anthony Bennett. This wasn't too suspicious, as Cleveland had the number 3 overall odds, making it plausible for them to receive the number 1 selection. It's also important to point out that even if it was slightly rigged, it has little to no effect on the greater conspiracy here, so let's move on. Cleveland began to improve a bit in 2013-2014, finishing at 33-49, placing their odds of receiving the first overall pick at just 1.7%, a percentage worse than 9 other teams. This is where the conspiracy really starts to heat up, as remember, LeBron was a free agent in 2014, and while his situation was looking good enough in Miami, the chance to play in his home city with a young star and many assets that could be flipped would be tough to turn away. Of course, the NBA decided to grant them another one of those assets, awarding them the number 1 pick, where they would go on to select Andrew Wiggins. Meanwhile, LeBron had been demolished by the Spurs in the finals just a few weeks earlier, showing Miami's vulnerability. But like any good hero, LeBron would rise from the ashes to defend his home city of Cleveland against any threat that the rest of the league threw at him. If this conspiracy is true, then this is the point in time that the NBA won. LeBron, returning to Cleveland, concealing all of the hate that had been thrust upon him after he had left, turning it all into a championship. It wouldn't be all that easy, however. Even after Wiggins was turned into Kevin Love, even after role players such as J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, and Timofey Mozgov, the Cavs couldn't overcome injuries to both Kyrie and Love, and they lost to LeBron's newest rival, Stephen Curry, and the Golden State Warriors. In 2016, the Cavs would return to the finals, falling behind 3-1 to Golden State. And you all know what happened next after that. In a series of outstanding performances, there's several questionable decisions in terms of suspensions and ejections, Cleveland prevailed. The LeBron James story had reached its climax. The NBA's best player had just pulled off the greatest series comeback in NBA history. All of the losing that Cleveland endured over the course of 50 years, gone in an instant. The master plan had finally come to fruition. So to recap, the conspiracy here is that NBA Commissioner David Stern allowed the Cleveland Cavaliers to receive multiple number 1 overall draft picks, resulting in them having a strong foundation of a team for LeBron to come home to following the expiration of his contract with Miami. Now, something that everyone must understand is that the NBA is all about entertainment. It's what drives their revenue. It's what makes them stay afloat. What is entertaining, you may ask? A good story, that's what. What better story than the hometown kid that gets beat up and kicked around for a while, then turns his back on the city and pursues better opportunities, only to return and set things back to how they always should have been. Being the best player in the NBA, LeBron is looked at as a bit of a main character and hero for the NBA. If we really wanted to get crazy, and I'll consider making a video about this down the line, but maybe the NBA essentially forced Kevin Durant to sign with Golden State, facing LeBron up against an even greater foe after he won his championship. I haven't done any research into that theory, but if this theory of mine would happen to be correct, I wouldn't call the Durant theory that far-fetched. I mean, think about it. A good hero always needs a good villain. Who did LeBron have as villains? He had the Spurs for a couple of years, he had Steph Curry then, but what about Kevin Durant, the flashy young star from Oklahoma City, then goes to Golden State, who already had another villain of his with Steph Curry? Once again, not sure about that theory, but if LeBron would go against even greater villains, it would make his victories look even more great. Anyways, getting back to the main topic. Ever since LeBron passed Kobe as the most popular NBA player in the NBA around approximately 2010, the NBA has wanted to see LeBron win. I don't want to take anything away from LeBron here, but the NBA hasn't exactly prohibited him from getting into the finals in each of the previous 7 years. Look, the bottom line here is that the NBA has no reason not to want LeBron in the finals. Part of the reason why I'm leaning towards this theory actually having some credibility is because of the NBA's past. They love getting their stars into the finals. A great example of this would be the 2002 Western Conference Finals, when the Sacramento Kings built a 3-2 lead over the LA Lakers, seeking to close the series out. However, several highly questionable calls from the officials caused the Lakers to escape with a win, eventually winning the NBA Finals. Keep in mind here that the Lakers' top 2 players were Kobe and Shaq, while the Kings' best players were Chris Webber and Vlade Divac. Not bad players, but certainly not on the level of Kobe and Shaq. Getting back to LeBron once again, I don't want to take anything away from him, but the NBA clearly wants him in the finals every year. Just look at how many times they had tried to get Cleveland to the finals when LeBron was with his first stint there. In the 2009 series that LeBron had against the Orlando Magic, it was crazy how Anderson Varejao and Zydrunas Ilgauskas were able to get away with some of the things they were doing to Dwight Howard down low. Unfortunately for the Cavs, Orlando won the series anyways, pushing LeBron closer to leaving. Some people even argue that Stern forced LeBron to team up with Wade and Bosh in Miami. And while I don't think that Stern was at all displeased about LeBron's decision, I think that it was LeBron's decision and LeBron's decision only. However, as I've stated many times, I do think that it was very possible that once LeBron left for Miami, Stern began to lay the groundwork for his return to Cleveland. Some things were of course out of Stern's hands, such as the Clippers and Cavs trade, but some may argue that Cleveland would have been rewarded with the number 1 selection, as remember, Cleveland's own pick fell at number 4, and if the NBA really wanted to, they could have easily had the Cavs' original pick land at number 1. While I'm not entirely ready to anoint this theory as a fact, I do think that 3 number 1 picks and several other picks in the top 5, all in a 4-year span, is a bit fishy, even for a bad team like Cleveland. The underlying theme here is that even if the NBA did something morally wrong, we'll never know. The NBA will never let it slip through the cracks and become public knowledge, so it's all speculation. All a mystery, and unfortunately for the American public, that is the case all too much. So, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I really had fun making this one, because who isn't a fan of a good conspiracy? Please let me know in the comments if you would like to see more conspiracy videos. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. If you would like to be notified of when I upload a new video, then please click the bell in the bottom right hand corner to receive those. As I said previously, please feel free to share your thoughts of the video down in the comment section, and you all have a great day.